Let me motherfucking tell y'all the shit that happened to me. K-Sign is back, no crack was popping, no flat. What's good? Where you at? Why I'm scrolling on LinkedIn? Cause you know I'm in my little professional era. I'm up here doing my shit as y'all know. So I'm on LinkedIn trying to connect, network. What the fuck they all talk about doing? Oh, you need a network. Okay, so I'm networking. And you know, from time to time, I always get messages from random people who either trying to offer me a job or who trying to connect with me or who just want to know what's going on with me. So we gonna call this girl Nene. I don't want to put her real name out there because I don't want nothing to do with this cult. So I get a random message on LinkedIn from Nene. It goes, "Hi K-Sign, I hope all is well. I ran across your profile and would love to connect. I see you're getting your MPA at GMU. I just graduated this past summer there with mine. What do you want to do once you finish?" I'm like, okay. I said, "Hi Nene. First, congratulations on your major accomplishment. I plan on transitioning to more of a public affairs or communications role in the government or nonprofit. How about you? How's life after walking across the stage a second time?" She go, "Thank you. I really appreciate that. Life has been good. I'm teaching currently as I look for something more aligned with my MPA. I'd like to do something with education or health related policy/program management. I just paid off all my debt, so that has been a blessing. It seems like you have a lot of experience. Are you working while in school or doing school full time?" Keep in mind, she paid off all her debt. Now that's a major accomplishment, but why she brought that up, keep that in mind. Yes, I wish I could say the same. And yes, currently both doing full-time work in grad school. I have about a year and a half left. What do you teach? She said, "I teach 8th grade science. I know how that can be because I did the same. So keep pushing. What do you do for work?" I said, "Oh, thank you. I currently work in marketing at blank 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 with the intention of making a transition to more of a public relations/crisis management or communications role. How exactly am I going to do that? Well, LOL. Because, well, I don't fucking know." She said, "Well, at least you're getting experience with the marketing and communications aspect of things. Then school will help with the policy and government side. I'd love to keep in touch. My mentors are saying you can never out-network yourself. My number is blank 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 blank. What's yours? I'll save it." At this point, I did feel a little bit weird that she was so willing to give her personal phone number. And yes, I understand, you know, we both black, we both came from the same school, not a lot of black people here, you networking, cool. But why not connect on LinkedIn first, get used to us being on LinkedIn, and then start texting each other? I just knew in my head, something ain't right because you was too quick to give me your phone number and asking for mine. So, I don't know, maybe some people are comfortable like that, but not me. I don't like giving out my phone number to people like that because this is my phone number. The fuck? So her and I, we get to texting. The first text I sent was on Monday at February 12th at 5:32 p.m. I said, "Hi Nene, it's K-Sign." She texted me back. She said, "Hey K-Sign, got you locked in. I see you're from the 7-5. Are you doing school virtually or did you move up this way?" I said, "No, I live on campus for now. I live on the main campus." "Where are you originally from again?" She says, "Oh, okay. How do you like the Nova area?" I said, "I don't." She said, "I'm from Woodbridge, which is not too far from here. I went to VCU for undergrad and then I moved back." And so from then on, we just was texting just a little bit here and there. So the last text message that we sent to each other was on Tuesday. This past Monday was President's Day, right? So I was off work, but I had school. I guess she was off work too. That's neither here nor there. I'm laying in the bed. It's about 12 o'clock, right? I get a phone call. I'm like, who the fuck is this? It's a 703 number. I don't remember texting no 703 number. I pick up the phone because I'm like, shit, I've been applying to jobs, so maybe it's a job calling me back. I pick up the phone. "Hey, it's Nene." Oh, this was her number because I never saved it. So she's like, "Hey, it's Nene, K-Sign, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm good." She was like, "Is this a good time to call you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not really doing nothing. What's up?" She's like, "So I was wondering if you're open to this new opportunity. I've been talking to my mentor and I told him about you and we feel like you would be a good fit." I was like, okay, what's going on? She was like, "So basically, are you willing to learn about being part of the business team and it helps you make extra money on the side? It's a side hustle thing, side hustle." And she kept bringing up the fact that she paid off her student loans, You know what, girl, that's great for you. But you keep talking to me about you paid off your student loans, What are you trying to sell me here? I was like, "Oh yeah, what's going on? Like, I'm interested. What is this about?" She was like, "Well, yeah, I have my mentor over here on the line, so I'm gonna call him and I'll put him on 3-way and then he's gonna let you know what we're gonna do." I was like, "Oh, okay, so y'all ready? Like, you was ready for me to say yes and for him to hop on the line." So this is when I should have known that this shit was gonna be some sideways shit. I tell her, "Yeah, I'm interested. What's going on?" The guy hops on the call and he's like, "Hey K-Sign, how are you?" You know, he was giving me a short little rundown about his story, where he's from. I gave him a little short rundown about me, where I'm from, what I'm doing with myself. And he was like, "So how would you feel about partaking in a business opportunity that helps you make a little extra money on the side? Because, you know, everything everything is just, you know, expensive, just trying to sell me. I'm like, all right, sure. I don't know. He's like, I'm not asking you to commit to anything, but I just want you to keep your ears open, keep your eyes open. We'll touch base soon. I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna put you, me, and Nene in a group chat. I'm gonna drop all the details. Make sure you wear business clothes. Make sure you're dressed up for an interview, and you bring a notepad and you take notes. I'm like, oh, okay. This must be some serious shit. So the next day, he puts us in a group chat. He says, hey, K-Son, we're gonna call him Ray Ray. This is Ray Ray. I added Nene to the thread as well. Here are the details for the session we discussed. I asked that you arrive between 7:30 and 7:45 p.m. so that I may introduce you to a few of my partners in the room as well and to get you seated properly. As a reminder, dress is business professional. Please bring a notepad and a pen to take detailed notes. This session is strictly for details regarding our business model and a chance to work with our partners. The date is Tuesday, February 20th, 2024 from 8 to 9. Address at the Hilton Springfield, 6550 Loisdale Road, Springfield, Virginia. I said, got it. See you soon. So I made sure to look up the address. I put it on Google Maps. It was actually at a Hilton hotel. So I'm like, okay, this can't be too shiesty. We was meeting up in some secret alley office building all the way in the back. I'd be like, no, thank you. This isn't for me. But because it was at a hotel and it was a well-lit public area, I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I don't know what I'm walking myself into. Long story short, I tell them I'm on the way. The time comes, I get dressed, I head out, I pull up to the hotel, and I call Nene. I'm like, hey Nene, I'm here. She was like, okay, I'm in the lobby. I have on this green dress and whatever on my head, and meet me here. So I met her in the lobby. We greeted each other. She looked just like as she did it on her LinkedIn profile. Pretty, nice voice. I shake her hand, and she was like, hey, how you doing? So we walk into this ballroom, and it's a whole line of people that's just dressed in suits and ties and blazers, and all these people look important and professional. So I'm like, okay, this must be some serious shit. So, you know, I feel kind of cool. I feel kind of glad to be here. Like I'm getting the tea. I'm getting the scoop on something. But in the back of my mind, I'm still like, I really don't know what this is about and what's going on. So I'm still a little skeptical. We sit in the front, and she has me meet this couple. They had something to do with the sorority that she was in. I guess she met the lady because they're in the same sorority and that her husband is also with her, and they're all part of this business team. And my thing is, why didn't you say the name of the business that you was working with before you even asked me to come sit down and learn about the shit? That's how I know this shit was a fucking scam. It was a fucking call. It was, I don't know. It was a fucking scam. That's all I'ma say. A guest speaker comes up. Everybody's fucking clapping. Because everybody just wants to be noticed by the successful guy. He was like this big tech, he was like this big CEO of a tech company. I don't know, he showed us pictures of his family. And so he really started getting into the nitty gritty of what the meeting was about. People love to say that we live in the age of information, but those days are behind us now. We live in the days of disinformation, because it's hard to believe everything that you see. And everybody was like, yup. I'm like, okay, this getting a little creepy. Like, okay, like, you know, he got the little, he doing his little presentation with the remote, with the click remote. So he clicked next. So he's like, okay, so I want you guys to take a piece of paper. So he was like, all right, guys, something that Warren Buffett, I think is like one of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett. If you don't know him, look him up. He said was, I want you to make a bucket list of 25 things that you want to do in life. Don't think too hard about it. Just write it down. So I'm writing my shit down. I got things on my bucket list like get a social media certification, pay off my student loan debt, start a new job, visit Europe, attain my degree, learn Spanish, shit like that on my bucket list. So he was like, so what is the number one thing that you guys think that you need to obtain everything on this bucket list? Everybody shouted, money. Okay. You know, my ears wasn't too perked up. I wasn't too on edge. I didn't have a bad feeling in my spirit, but I knew something was a little off. So everybody shouted money. He was like, you're right. So then he started to go on to talk about how if you have $1,000 saved in your savings account, that now it's worth $800 because inflation is going crazy, and every year your money that you have is less valuable and less valuable, and the job that you have, you're able to get quickly. You can just be fired like that. But with our business team, we're gonna teach you how to be an entrepreneur and how to make money for yourself and start your own business and do it all from the comfort of your own home under 10 hours a week. I was like, okay, this sounds good, but what's the gag? Like, what's going on here? Like, this isn't just an opportunity that you just passed out to anybody. That sounds a little bit too good to be true. Because if that was true, everybody would be doing this shit. So he clicked the buzzer. Next, the next slide. We're under this company called Amway. And I just feel like right then and there, after I left, I should have just been looking up everything about that company as soon as I left, because that honestly would have determined how my Thursday would have went. Today's Friday, so just keep this in mind. This just happened. He basically goes on to talk about how Amway works, what you have to do to be successful, and how your first year is complimentary, but after the first year, you have to pay to use the product, and that people that are in the Amway group, they don't go out to buy things from other stores, that you buy things from your store because you're supporting your own business. So you don't go out to get their bottle of water. You buy the bottle of water from your website, or you buy the bottle of water from Amway because you're getting a return on your investment. Then he started to go on to explain how Amway works. I don't know exactly how Amway works. Long story short, the way Amway works is they basically provide you with a platform. They're a very rich company. They make millions, billions. On that platform, you get your own website. You sell consumable goods at a higher price than normal. And that it's your job to sell. And in return, they run off something called a point system. Based on how much you sell, how many points you generate determines what % of the cut that you get. And the rest of the money that you make is dispersed to the team that helped brought you on. It already sounds fishy, right? So I'm just sitting there taking notes, I'm learning, and he brings up how, you know, it's about a $24 million a day revenue stream, and the first year is free, but it's $76 annually. You have to attend all these leadership conferences, and the $35 annually, and you know, you go straight from manufacturer to customer instead of from manufacturer to broker to wholesaler to retailer to customer. The meeting ends. Nene and I talk for a little bit after the meeting ends, and she's like, all right, so next is the training session. So after this, you can pretty much go home, and then we'll reconnect, and me and my mentor will meet up on Thursday to talk about this further. I was like, okay, what's going on here? But you know, I'm still a little curious as to what this is all about. So we go out into the lobby. We greet the guy that was speaking, the CEO of the tech company, and there was a whole line of us, like he was fucking Jeff Bezos or something, and he handing out $1 million worth of knowledge, $1 million worth of game. She's like, all right, so we confirmed your availability, so I'll just let him know. And he's coming all the way up from Richmond, mind you, that's like 2 hours away, to come up all the way up here to Northern Virginia to talk about the opportunity. I'm like, okay, cool. So she was like, all right, bye, and she heads back into the room for the training session. I leave and I go home. The next day, Nene drops our meeting location in the group chat, and it's at Panera Bread in Dumfries, Virginia. I'm like, damn, that's a little bit far. That's like a fucking 40 minute drive, but shit, I made it. I was like, all right, whatever. So the time came, I got dressed, I was like, I'm on my way. I show up, and he's like, let me know when you park. And so I'm pulling up in the parking lot. I tell him I'm here, right? And I'm just making sure, I'm just looking around just to make sure like they are who they say they are. So I'm sitting in my car. To my right, a male and a female in the car together. And I wanted to look at them, but I didn't want to look at them too hard, because like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to look at people who potentially may not be the person that you're looking for too hard, because that shit is embarrassing. And just that could start shit. So I took a quick glance at the female that's in the car, and I'm like, bro, this don't look like Nene. So he tells me I'm walking in. So I see them two get up out the car, and they walk inside the Panera. In my head, I'm like, where the fuck is Nene? So I get up and I walk inside the Panera Bread, and Nene was sitting at the table the whole time, and she was just doing shit on her own until me and him popped up. Me, him, and Nene are sitting at a table, and mind you, this girl that he was in the car with was sitting directly behind us the whole time, not saying a damn thing. She ain't say a word. She ain't introduce herself. She was literally sitting there on her phone like this the entire time. I already knew something is up with this bitch. I don't know what she's sitting here for. Why are you here? My thing is, why are you up here? Just, whatever. Then this man kept bringing up the fact that, I hate to leave my wife at home even though we're in the same business together. I hate leaving her at home. I don't leave her for fun. So, I'm really here for a reason. We just want to make sure that you're the person you say that you are, and that we can trust you as well, because we know you have a hard time maybe trusting us to begin with. And so we want this to be a mutually beneficial relationship, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. So he starts asking me questions about, what do I do for a living? I tell him I'm a full-time worker. I'm in school. He was like, just let me know if you have any questions. Any questions, just let me know. And mind you, we were talking for maybe like an hour. He starts telling me how the business works. So he draws my name in a circle, writes K-Sign inside it. So he's like, have you ever... Okay, so he was like, what you will be having? The only difference between our platform and the store that we're in is that people only trust brick and mortar stores. People only trust things that they see. However, do you think now in this economy more people are going to be buying things online or less people? I'm like, more. And he was like, so what's the difference between you shopping on Amazon and you shopping on another online website? And I'm like, just different prices and different things. He was like, I just want to make sure that you are willing to make commitments and sacrifices, because if you're spending money all the time on other things, we want to make sure that you're on board to not spend money on those things so you can save money to reallocate to help build your future. I'm just like, okay, this man is obviously trying to sell me something. He's trying to sell me a motherfucking dream. And I won't having it. So I kept asking questions because at this point I'm like, But what got me to the is because he told on himself. So he drew, like I said, he drew my name in that circle. And remember how I told you that part of the business model is to recruit, and he hated that I used the word recruit. Every time I used the word recruit, he was like, no, we just don't use that word recruit because that's just not how our business works. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, after he drew my name in the circle, he drew another line, another line, another line, and another line. And he drew circle, 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 circle. And he turned it around. So he was like, okay, so this is not a pyramid scheme. I'm like, nigga, you done told on yourself. I didn't bring up. He was like, I know you may be thinking this is a pyramid scheme. I didn't say shit, but you told on yourself. So now I'm gonna think it's a pyramid scheme. Now I think it's a pyramid scheme. You done told on yourself, nigga. Now I think it's a motherfucking pyramid scheme. And so everything that he's saying at this point is going in one ear and out the motherfucking other. He's talking about how, the difference between us and everybody else is that we run our business on the franchisee model, not the pyramid model. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so he was basically telling me that him and Nene are one person away from recruiting another person, having them make a certain amount, and then they get bumped up to the next level, and they get to be called an emerald, and then after that they get to be called a diamond, and they're making $250K every year. I'm like, all right, you know what? This is definitely giving pyramid scheme. And y'all is not having me. I will not be taking part of this. And that bitch in the bag, I don't know what the fuck she was doing. I don't know if she was taking notes. I don't know if she was trying to getting ready to take my weight and my height and my hair color so she can come find me and kill me or kidnap me. But bitch, shit ain't happening. I don't know what the fuck she had going on, but I'm not with that. Everything that he was telling me was just going in one ear and out the other. So I was like, this is cool and everything. And then he started to tell me we meet 64 times a year. We know that it may be inconvenient, but the thing is you're making money, and the money that you're going to be making is your business. So, you have to make sacrifices as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. And we just want to make sure that you're a person that wants to make those sacrifices. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So he just kept talking, trying to sell me into moving forward into the process with them. And so he was just trying to make it seem like, yeah, me and her, we just need to discuss if you're the right person, but this is what we expect. The second thing that he said that told me that was a fuck no was when he was like, yeah, we recruit people every week. Every week? What are you talking about? Why am I having to recruit people? So I said, well, I have to recruit people every week. He was like, no. We will have to recruit people every week, meaning all three of us. I was like, He was like, I appreciate the fact that you want to take responsibility, that you use the word I, but it's a team effort. So y'all niggas sit here and recruit people every single week? Are you serious? Be fucking for real. He got up, he gave me his phone, he was like, I want you to watch these 2 videos. And he was just too ecstatic talking about, yep, look at what this couple made, and the camera panned to the couple, we made $2,000. Girl, get the fuck out of here. So I'm just watching like, and Nene just sitting across from me taking notes the entire time. I didn't tell you, but the entire time that we were talking, she was doing nothing but just writing in her notebook, taking notes. And I'm just like, what the fuck is she writing about if she's already in the business? She already knows how the shit works. Y'all trying to recruit a new person. What are you taking notes on what he's saying for? This is shit that you obviously should know because you've been in here for how long now? That's not making sense to me. After he gets up, shows me the video, he comes back and he sits down. So I'm like, okay, I have like a few more questions for y'all. I'm like, at what point, and this is for the both of you, at what point were you in this business and you were uncomfortable? Did you start to get comfortable with it? And he would not give me a straight up answer at all. He was like, well, I'm going to tell you my story and I'm going to let her tell hers because hers is so different. And he was like, his name, we'll call him Ray Ray. Personally, I come from the inner city, so I can just tell when somebody's about to finesse me. And I was hungry and I was just looking for money, and I didn't know what I was walking into, but I was determined, and I I had an open mind and open ears, and I was coachable, and that's exactly what I want you to be. I want you to be coachable, and I just want you to work with me. And I'm like, okay. But I'm gonna let Nene tell her story. Nene was like, so obviously, I was, I'm a believer, and I didn't have a bad feeling in my spirit, and it was just, and I pressed the question. I was like, so at what point did you feel like, oh, okay, this is legit, I can keep going on with this? And she wouldn't give me a straight up answer. She kept telling me I just listened and I just followed through, and I just trusted them, and things worked out, and I was able to pay off my student loans. And I was like, okay. But what got me, what he said, he was like, and when it comes to the whole recruiting thing, I don't look at it as recruiting. I look at it as just living life. So, whenever I'm in Target, and he used Target as specifically as an example. So anybody motherfucking approach you in Target, talking about something, do you want to make some money? Run, nigga, run. He was like, I be in Target and I just scope the scene, and I can just tell who would want to talk to me and who would not want to talk to me. And I just make sure I just look at everybody, and I just make sure I speak. I just make sure I attend networking events. And even if they don't want to participate in the business, I just make sure that, I have a connection, and it's just always good to network, and it's just a vehicle to network with people. And I'm just like, okay, cool. So he was like, this Saturday, which is tomorrow, we have a conference, but I want to be able to Zoom call you. I'll show you what the website looks like so we can move forward with the process and see how you feel about everything. I'm just like, okay. I've yet to get a text from him because the reason why I did get a text from him was because as soon as I left, I FaceTimed my friend. I'm like, friend, guess what happened? Mind you, one thing I forgot to bring up, both of them mentioned, well, specifically Nene mentioned how if I would have told my grandparents or my parents, they would have told me not to do it. And Ray Ray said after this meeting, try not to talk about it with your friends because they're not going to steer you in the right direction. I told her everything, and she was like, friend, we don't trust them. I was like, you know what, you right, we don't trust them. So I went home and I blocked them, and I called it a motherfucking day. Well, I called it a night, actually. But yeah, nah, I'm not doing none of that. Is you fucking crazy? Hell no. I'm not about to sit here and recruit people every week so I could support y'all business. Get the fuck out of here. And with that being said, on to the next. But thank y'all for watching, and I guess I'm just about to see what the fuck about to go on in the next couple of days. I don't know. We'll see what's popping, but bye hoes.